We knew that we wanted to help our clients, and the technology and the Risk Cloud is essentially something that could easily help facilitate that. So it was easy for us to kind of decide that, hey, LogicGate, this is something that you can help us with.
Hi, I'm Megan Phee, and this is GRC Me, where we interview industry thought leaders in governance, risk, and compliance on hot topics, industry-specific challenges, trends, and more to learn about their methods, solutions, and outlook in the space.
On today's episode, I sit down with Priyam Shah. Priyam is part of the GRC technology practice at PwC. PricewaterhouseCoopers is a multinational professional services network, helping clients with audit and assurance, tax, and consulting needs regarding risk, compliance, and governance. And today we speak about our collaboration, what PwC is seeing in the market in regards to trends, and we talk about how to make sure we give during this difficult time and take care of each other. And in the spirit of helping organizations and to thank you all for tuning in, PwC has offered a 1-hour free session they've dubbed as a GRC Tech Office Hour. Here you can ask them anything related to GRC, taxonomy, implementation, or anything else. Now, I know there's a lot of listeners today, but whomever reaches out to me first, I'll refer them to Priyam to schedule a session. To take advantage of this promotion, email me today at partnerwithus@logicgate.com. And don't worry if you're not the first one, I'm fairly confident we can guilt Priyam and team into accommodating. So if you're interested, please reach out. And now, here's our episode with Priyam. Welcome to the show, Priyam. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So I'm really excited to talk with you today. I have come to know you over the last year, maybe a little bit longer, through the work that you do with your clients and GRC. And I had the pleasure of working with your group recently when we came together for a collaboration. So LogicGate and PwC did a collaboration focusing on how to help customers, clients during this difficult time, during the pandemic, to think about how to safely or strategically return to work and make sure that there are health and safety controls in place within their organization to keep their team members as safe as they can. And so I'd love to hear from you, Priyam, about, what led that idea that PwC really, because you coined this concept in my mind about really making sure that there are controls that are supportive of the work that people are going to be doing as they migrate back to physical offices. But what led first to the work that you're doing during this time in the response to the COVID pandemic, but also the collaboration with LogicGate's Risk Cloud?
Yeah, sure. So within our practice within GRC practice at PwC, a lot of the engagements we work on are enabling. So enabling a lot of the second line of defense processes, really giving a good governance structure, and ultimately implementation. But, with COVID-19 and everything with the pandemic, we really wanted to think about ways that we can truly help our clients in this current moment. So we're really looking to pivot our services so it'd be meaningful for our clients from a business standpoint, but also a lot of the, employees and individuals we work with through various organizations. We wanted them to feel comfortable and safe in the work they're doing, whether that's at home or eventually getting back to the office. So we came up with a program which we dubbed, as you said, which is called Return to Work, which really has a lot of the processes and controls laid out to help organizations understand, okay, if I'm going to have a phased approach of letting 20, 15 individuals come in at a time, what are all the things from CDC, WHO, all of the health regulations that we're hearing about? What are some of those steps that we need to take in order to ensure their safety? So we understand, as you mentioned, Megan, we work together a lot and we talk a lot and we talk about GRC a lot. And I thought it was just like natural relationship right there where we knew that we wanted to help our clients, and the technology and the Risk Cloud is essentially something that could easily help facilitate facilitate that, almost, taking our controls, being able to drop them into the solution, whether that's for an update or an upload, and then really helping end users manage those testing and ensuring that controls are adopted. So it was easy for us to kind of decide that, hey, LogicGate, this is something that you can help us with. We can roll out your clients, and whoever's on this journey of eventually, moving past COVID-19 and hopefully getting ourselves back into the office.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that it started, the origin of the idea came from, how can we help our clients? I love that. And I know that is a lens that you are always looking at, the work that you do with your clients. I love that. And so in the work that you do with your clients, what are trends that you've noticed in the GRC market? So I know right now we are in a really difficult climate where we're managing how to make sure our teams are safe. But when you look at the last few years, what are some broader trends that you're seeing in the GRC market?
Yeah, before we would hear a lot of clients say, I have issues testing, or I'm not able to maintain a risk register or risk assessments. But what we're hearing a lot in the last few years, our clients are really able to take reins of their GRC technologies and their tools and move forward in their programs. But where they're kind of getting stuck at is those outputs, is those data. Really, there's a big emphasis on metrics. So yeah, we're doing all this great work. We have all these enabled processes, but I'm not able to see metrics. I'm not able to see analytics. I'm not able to see the data across my whole technology. So a huge emphasis on data. And that's not necessarily, utilizing the tools out-of-box reporting structure, but it really has to do a lot with, okay, we recognize that the technology does this level of reporting, but we need to take it up a notch and, run our controls through all tricks to be able to understand how to automate our testing better. Or we really need to run all of these data points through Tableau to have that really sleek management reporting. So it's just that next level of visuals, that next level of analysis, and just that next level of information that management and even folks from the second line just constantly want to be able to have visibility into risk and compliance.
I love that. And often I think that visibility or the insights, the metrics of data, those are often thought of as like the end state, right? And so what are some pitfalls that you see some people facing when they are tackling, whether it's starting a new GRC initiative or starting a new team within an organization to tackle things like enterprise risk? What are some things that struggles that you've seen them face, ultimately probably that impact that final end state?
Yeah, Megan, it's actually really funny. A lot of our engagements are actually organizations who are pretty far along on their GRC journey and aren't finding value getting to a point where the technology is stuck or they've over-customized it. We kind of do what we call a diagnostics or a pulse checks, and it's really stopping and reassessing your guiding principles. So a lot of the times there aren't a set of standards or overarching principles that all the in-scope stakeholders or groups need to follow. So that really helps them when there's tough decisions to lead them down the right path. So whether that's saying, we're going to stick to the out of the box, we're not going to highly customize. And when you get to a point where, you need to build great feeds and have all this like custom code, that would help you say, what, one of our guiding principles is we're going to configure, customize less. And so that really helps having a good governance structure in place, individuals that are supporting the program or supporting the vision, supporting the technology. And overarching, what we really find is a lot of organizations, get really excited, being able to get the budget, have the tool to start going with it. And we really emphasize more of a crawl, walk, run, rather than just like shooting for enabling all your programs at once. And that really comes from a twofold approach of having a really in-depth technology, but also a business process roadmap in place So you're able to understand what are those processes that actually work with each other that, need to be enabled together to have the most value out of them, or what are the processes, for example, compliance is we're sunsetting teammate in 3 months. So they need to cut ahead of the line to get into the tool first, those types of things. And then ultimately it's just making sure, back to what we were talking about on reporting, is what you're getting out of it is meaningful for you. And that's only going to help if what you're putting into the tool is also the same way. So having a really good taxonomy structure where risk is assessed or looked at evenly, issues are managed the same way throughout. And that doesn't necessarily mean all stakeholders have to readjust their processes, but it's really a way for you to be able to have an apples to apples comparison and then get that great output, that great reporting that everyone wants.
That's really interesting. We here at LogicGate will have conversations with folks who are looking at technologies, maybe often point solutions or individual solutions to solve initial pains. But we always encourage them to have a very similar lens, which was, think about the vision of your program and where you want to take your program, and think about the scalability of your program. And that's a tech that you should choose that can meet you where you are now, but also evolve with you. And the work, Priyam, that you're doing, which is, the kind of the data mapping and thinking about the taxonomy and thinking about the interconnection between other elements of their program, that is so critical because, a big pitfall I could see is that, they buy or they invest in a solution and they don't think about those other things or the next, the process that they want to weave in or another stakeholder that could benefit from the tech. But maybe they've elected a point solution or something that just doesn't allow them to expand and grow. Or even worse, it's designed in an architecture that doesn't allow them easily to integrate these, relationships between data objects. So that's really interesting you said that. And I think that's so refreshing to hear that you can help people with that and help them to think future state, kind of getting out of the initial pain that they might need to replace a tool right now, but that they should be thinking broader and cohesively about it. So that's really cool.
Totally. A lot of the times you don't want to put in that extra time and that upfront effort. You kind of just want to do all the fun stuff and, implement and design. But, once you have that really good, strong infrastructure, you'll be able to just run with it and things will go really smoothly and really well. So we really do encourage that.
Thanks, Priyam, for sharing some advice with us today and things to consider when managing GRC programs or new initiatives, as well as some pitfalls to avoid. So I have another final question for you. Really, it's about creating trust. I think a lot of the work that you do with your customers, you're able to do it because you've got a great amount of trust with your customers and understanding of their programs and their initiatives. And so it's a difficult time that we're working in now. It's hard to get in front of our friends, family, and customers in a way that we used to. And so what are you doing at PwC now to help to continue to have that level of connection with your clients and even your teammates today?
Yeah, definitely. We are very client-centric. Oftentimes we travel to see our clients, and just those small breaks where, you grab coffee together or, there's a happy hour when you reach a milestone. There's not a lot of celebrating successes, wins, or those moments of really understanding each other to garner that empathy of what someone's going through, particularly during these times. It's just people are signing off. They don't want to stay on for a minute longer. They're signing off. So at PwC, we really came up with a bunch of different initiatives and different ways of interacting with even each other internally along with our clients. And we call them really like difference makers. So it's ways of engaging with our clients and only taking, a minute or two up front to just be aware and be mindful of, that person and what they might be going through right now, whether there's, kids and you need to charge someone's iPad really quickly, or, it's been a long day, lots of early meetings, and just taking that few minutes to connect up front as you normally would have, if there was a meeting in person and everyone would walk in and, everyone kind of like shoots around for a few minutes, like, yeah, I'm having a rough day, Taking some time and having some of these activities, whether it's icebreakers where we kind of call someone out on icebreakers or a flat flash sessions, or even taking a few minutes just to give everyone 3 minutes to finish up that last email, finish up that last ping, go grab a drink of water or coffee, and then really stay focused for the meeting. So yeah, dependent upon, our group or who we're working with or the client, we really try to just swing some of these in. It really helps lighten things up, and you're really able to have that relationship, which ultimately helps in your entire project. Once you're working together and you're able to, as you mentioned, Megan, create that trust, that's really what's going to get things moving.
Yeah, I think so often when we work with our customers, it's the before the meeting and after the meeting kind of chit chat, or during the breaks that you get to know them personally. And so I know I'm missing that because everyone is kind of bookend. It's after this call is the next call, and you got to hop on the Zoom. And so it's about taking care of teammates, it's making sure people have a chance for a bio break, get some sunshine if possible, but also to talk about themselves and get to know each other on a personal level if we can. So yeah, I love that. I love that Different Makers initiative that you have there at PwC. So thanks for sharing that with us today.
Of course.
This is Megan Phee with GRC and Me.